Okay, I'm Kevlarscale, or Kevlar, as I'm called on the Pokemon Online main server and the Smogon server. And this is my Rate My Team, the team I refer to as the little hippo that could. So, obviously, the most important character in this team is Hippopotas, who is the little hippo. And this is just your standard physically defensive Hippopotas, who has Stealth Rocks, because Stealth Rock is always a great addition to your team. Earthquake for stab, because you always need to at least have one type of attack in case you get taunted, and Slack Off because it's a physical wall. And eventually, due to nice synergy with the rest of this team, I added Roar. This is just max. Actually, I don't have the 4 special defense. Better fix that. Anyways, so Eviolite, all that jazz, just standard physical wall, and it's just supposed to set up Stealth Rock and Sandstorm. The next Pokemon that I'm going to go to is my special defensive wall, which is Empoleon. This is your basic Smogon special defensive Empoleon set, except for considering Hippopotas already has Stealth Rock. Obviously, Empoleon doesn't need Stealth Rock. So instead of choosing between Ice Beam and Grass Knot, I decided to go with both. And, so, because Empoleons tend to carry Roar on their sets a lot, and Hippopotas also carries Roar a lot and happens to have Roar on its set, I decided that I was going to make a Entry Hazard's passive damage team. And in order to have an Entry Hazard's passive damage based team, you obviously need to have someone to set up spikes. And Toxic Spikes I originally had on this team, but I decided against that because I never really found an opportunity to set it up, and just, there's no, and also I like Will-O-Wisp, but I'll get to that later. So this is my Frostlass. It's max speed, so it's really what this is. This is my standard lead, Frostlass. Focus Sass / it's like a pseudo lead. It's what I usually go with unless there's a very specific reason I'd want to lead with something else. I look like I'm leading with Hippopotas just to make them think I am, because there's certain Pokemon like trash on Hippopotas, such as Empoleon, that really can't do anything against Frostlass. Well, they can kill Frostlass, but it lets it set up 3 layers of spikes. And basically, spikes, taunt, and if I happen to be alive after setting up 3 layers, I can Destiny Bond and kill what's ever going to try to kill me. And also Ice Beam, just to round out the set in case I happen to get taunted by, say, another Frostlass. So because I have all this hazards, I need a spin blocker. And the 2 best spin blockers in UU are Cofagrigus and Dusclops. But because Dusclops relies on Eviolite in order to keep its defense so high, and I'm having Sandstorm, I can't have that passive damage working against me. So I have Cofagrigus to have at least some type of leftovers. And I have Will-O-Wisp and Calm Mind, which basically allows me to wall both spectrums depending on who I'm predicting to switch in. And Shadow Ball and Hidden Power fighting just to do some damage when I need Cofagrigus to do some damage. And so the next Pokemon I'm going to talk about now is Bronzong, who is basically the anti-wall wall. What he's going to do is set up Toxic on them and then Protect, and either alternate between Earthquake and Gyro Ball. So this way I can take out other stall teams and just generally do a lot of stalling. Maximum special defense because I have Will-O-Wisp, and also just because I feel like special defensive Bronzong is slightly better than physically defensive Bronzong. And the 6th and final Pokemon on this team is my Choice Scarf Modest Porygon-Z. It's modest because Timid doesn't really allow him to outspeed anything that really I find to be that significant. So it's modest for extra firepower, and it's an adaptability set, so maximum power on tri-attack. Basically just spams tri-attacks unless there's a ghost or rock or steel type. And the reason I go with Porygon-Z over the standard Stoutland, which you see on most sand teams, is first of all to be slightly less weather dependent, and also Trick, which allows me to disable special walls, and also because Porygon-Z, actually, surprisingly, you don't lose that much firepower from Porygon-Z, and he actually can do something against steel types, steel and rock types, which Stoutland has difficulty against. His best option is Wild Charge or Fire Fang, which aren't very good options. Anyways, that's the explanation of my team. Some suggestions that I'm thinking about is that I would like you guys to comment on whether I should go with a different spiker, such as Roserade, or whether I should switch out this Cofagrigus with a go back to Dusclops, or maybe go up to Dusknoir and still keep the leftovers. Whether I should actually switch out the Stoutland, and really, any problems, any issues you see with my team, please make any comments. Potentially, I might want to get rid of the special attack investment and put in an HP. I don't really know of anything specifically that'll help me live, but maybe you guys do. And also, really any suggestion you have will really help me. And in case you're wondering, this team in case you're wondering about the current success of my team, it peaked at 95 on the Smogon ladder, but as soon as I reached that, I dropped down to like 150 to 250 range, so I think that was just a fluke that I got up that high. So, I'm pretty sure I've hit this team's wall, and I'm planning on moving on to a new team, or if you guys make enough suggestions and make a drastic enough change on this team, I will continue using this team. And also, if you want to see any videos of this team in action, there are several videos on my YouTube page that show this team doing what it's doing. So, thank you, and please leave some constructive criticism for me. The main reason I started this channel was to improve my ability as a battler, and this is going to be the #1 way I'm going to do it.